Hey everybody, good morning. It's Rental Robert here with the Hustle Nation. We're all about some financial independence coming at you. Today we're going to talk about fortune killer. That's what I'm saying. Virtually everybody's got one. Few people pay attention, and you would not believe how much is sitting there. It's incredible. This thing erodes money, fortune, financial independence at an alarming rate. People are taught from a very young age to use this. Hogwash, full malarkey, created by snake oil salesmen, charlatans, scallywags, and carpetbaggers if you're from the South. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you why a savings account, no good. Stay tuned. We're talking about a savings account. You would not believe how many people have a considerable amount of money sitting in a savings account at a bank somewhere. Totally lucky if it's even paying 1%. People don't understand that money sitting in a bank is being eroded by inflation. Inflation usually runs 4 to 7% per year. Cost of living increases. And so just imagine if you're only getting paid 1%, and that's if you're doing good. Most banks are not even paying a full percent, okay? And if you ever take the time to learn how a bank works, okay? And I'm not going to give you the exact numbers because I don't remember them. But a bank has a certain amount of money on deposit that they have, and then they're able to get like 20 times that amount from the Federal Reserve. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, okay? But that's the way that it works. So nothing more than a bank wants you to give, for you to give them your money and then for them to leave it there, you not doing anything with it, and then that gives them the ability to not only make loans to other people, but get more money. What? To make more money with it. Okay. Here's the thing. Now, I told you about what it is that I do, okay? Short term, accessible. These are the only reasons any amount of money of mine is in a savings account. Those two reasons, that's it, okay? And actually, I probably keep more money in my pocket than I do in the bank. But here's the thing. Those two reasons, and that's it. All right, what I do is for any amount of money that I'm trying to save up to get to a certain point because I've got something allotted and I've got it in my mind on what I'm going to spend it on, I buy stock. Okay, the stock that I buy is Southern Company. It goes up 6 to 10% per year. Okay, so it outpaces inflation most of the time. The other time it breaks even, so I don't lose any money, but I don't gain any. Savings account, you're guaranteed to lose money. Boom! Okay? It's like playing the lottery with no chance of winning. I don't make the rules, but I got to acknowledge they do exist, and I have to play by them. Okay? Thing about it is I got a buddy of mine, his mom and dad have a $500,000 sitting in a savings account. Don't ask, I don't know. They come from that generation that their parents went through the Depression. Oh, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to save your money. Where's that supposed to happen? It's supposed to happen at the bank. Well, the people that went through the Great Depression, they weren't able to get their money out of the bank. Check your books. Go back. Read about it. See what all happened and everything like that, okay? Thing about it is that there's a tremendous amount of people that have money sitting in savings account and it is losing money every day. And if you got considerable chunks in there, here's the thing is that And this is very success, upper level learning. We do things because of emotion. All right? Becoming wealthy, getting rich, being successful is very methodical. It's very logical. And it's very unemotional. I give you a great example. Look at Elon Musk. He's like borderline, if not autistic. Okay? He's got some very weird quirks about him. And he doesn't show a whole lot of emotion. Okay? I get wrapped up in emotion. One of the things that I had to come to grips with is that I became fixer-upper rich with houses and became cash poor. Why? Because, hey, they're great. They're a good deal. I got to buy it, okay? A deal like this is not going to come along again. There are deals when I was 5 years old. They're going to be deals when I'm 90, okay? The thing about it is that I love finding the deal. I love negotiating the deal. I love closing the deal. And then the emotional payoff is no longer there. And so I want to move on, okay? I got a house that's been sitting for 2 years, okay? What is painful is when I realize that that's $25,000 that you've missed out on rent because you haven't had that house to where you can rent it out. That's not good, okay? So I'm doing some things differently. It's not an emotional payoff for me to do that, but it is a financial payoff, and that's what I'm interested in. It's kind of like selling roofs to people. Nobody has ever said, hey man, we're having a barbecue, come on over, we're going to look at the new roof. Nobody's ever said, put some heels on that new roof, I'm taking you out. Nobody said, hey, this is almost as good as spending money on a jet ski or a pontoon boat or a new Harley Corvette, a Louis Vuitton purse, whatever. Nobody has ever said that about a roof, okay? Roofs are not fun to spend money on. Okay, do they look good? Sure, when they're done and everything like that. But on a nice day, it's hard to have anybody that's a motivated buyer on a roof. Come over there in a torrential downpour where they've got 5-gallon buckets on the floor catching the water coming through. They're ready to sign that contract now. Why? Because they're in pain. We only do things for one of two reasons. Okay? Pay attention to this. I'll say it twice. We're either seeking pleasure or we're trying to avoid pain. Every decision that we make comes down to one of two decisions. We're either seeking pleasure or we're trying to avoid pain. No matter what it is that you're doing, it comes down to one of those two reasons right there, okay? A lot of people get an emotional satisfaction thinking, oh, my money's in the bank, it's FDIC insured, it's never going to go away, it's going to be great, it's going to be okay and everything like that. Leave that stuff in there for 20 years and then tell me what you can spend it on. A lot less than what you started, guaranteed, okay? My grandmother at one time, and she's been dead for a long time, had a CD that was paying 13%. Back in the early 70s, mortgages were at about 17 to 20%. Everything is relative on the scale, okay? So you could buy a house and get a loan for 17%, or you could put your money into a CD and you got 13%. You notice that 4% spread right there. Over 30 years on a mortgage, that's a considerable chunk of change. Right now, I'm seeing interest rates for personal homes for your primary residence at like 1.75, 2.25 and everything. You will never see, well, I'm not going to say never, but the chance of you seeing money this cheap ever again in your lifetime, probably real slim, okay? I mean, it's almost like it just can't get any lower. It is where it is, you know. What I learned back in, when I first got into real estate back in like 05, 06, it was like the wild, wild west with finance, okay? You could buy a house, turn around, a year later, get a loan for 130% of the value of the house. You bought a house for $100,000, a year and a half later, you could get a loan on it for $130,000. They would do 130% loan to value on your house. The crash in 08 happened. They completely rewrote how they were financing and loaning money and everything, and boom, investors were virtually cut off, okay? If you go back and look at my buddy Rick Jarman, he always said the only thing that changes about real estate is financing. The rest of the rules stay the same with it and everything like that. So, do me a favor. Take an inventory. How much money do you have in savings? And where can that money be better serving you? Especially if you're young. If you're in your early 20s, man, this is huge. This is monumental. Have that money somewhere where it's at least making minimum of 5% so that it does not erode because of inflation and the cost of living increases, and so that you still have the same amount of buying power. Anything over probably 6%, you're actually going to start making a profit. Do me a favor. Take a look at where you got your money at. Make sure that it's working for you. Easiest thing you're ever going to do is make money. Hardest thing you'll ever do is make it work for you and hold on to it. I had to give a guy an eviction notice this week. He's been a millionaire twice in his life. Go figure. I don't make the rules, but I do have to play by them. It's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation. Have a fantastic day. Be productive, be profitable, and figure out who's got your money.